everyone, and welcome to another video. Today, I'm going to be talking about Bond and going over a couple things that I've stated in my previous videos, and is talking about it. Basically, my previous videos it's like similar to what I said. What I've been saying this whole time is vote for deri. She's going to be the best DPS unit. Every character from deri on is going to be, in some shape, form, or fashion, a must pull. As for OCs can be skippable depending on their usefulness. Like you might want to use them to be like, okay, I could probably skip out if they're not as needed, or you must have to have them. That's because their OCs you could afford to skip them. If you generally don't think that it doesn't matter. But I feel like most characters, including some OCs, might end up being must pulls from now on, is just because of what I explained in my previous videos. With deri, she might be really good for future raid, and Bond might be able to support deri, like I said in the previous video as well. So let's go over Bond and why I think a couple of things, and why I still stick by what I said in the thing, and why I was right. And that's that is why I was bringing my opinion of that Bond will support deri, and having deri is going to be really crucial, and that every character move forward will be must pull. So this is why every character move forward from deri and on is going to be a must pull. So the Bond, when about his darkness aspect, I think it's official information right now. I think it might be official information. If it's not official information, I don't know. This is what I heard. This is what I seen. This is it could be leaked straight, or it could be a leak. But as far as I know, to me, it's official information. I'm only covering and reporting on the information that I've seen, that I've heard, the public information. Bond's darkness aspect is a burst. From what I know is, from what I read and what I've seen, the information I have gotten is that she basically either freezes or slows down the thirst gauge on darkness bursts. It's actually pretty good, and it's actually really good for melting, but it's also could be really good for there. The reason why it can be good for both, and I'm gonna explain it for both of them. For melee, it's really good for melee, so that way you can get more of your spams in. You can get longer spams. For deri, it can be really good, so that way you can reset up your you can set up your combos. Then you can hit your all damage on top of the burst stage, and you're going to be doing a lot more damage on deri, further making her even stronger, especially when she has the highest ult damage in the entire game by a long shot. Let me go ahead and show you that. I'm going to show you as a proof that deri has the highest ult in the game. So a lot of players when they compare ults, a lot of players like to bring up Escanor because he's one of the heavy hitters in the thing, especially on his attacks. So we get to go to his attacks ults. That's just 397% of attack. The cheap-on looking through here is increases damage by 100% to 100% on the points used afterwards. So damage pretty much increases it. This is really, really solid. One of the highest, probably was the highest ult before deri. But now that there is deri, I don't see anything being higher. 1800% of attack. 1150% of attack just base, right? Just base already three times higher than Escalar's base. Already 3 times higher than Escalar's base. Then with Devastator, 650%. That equals 1,800% of attack total. Now, this one here is the highest damage in the entire, the highest all damage in the entire game that I have seen. I have looked through all of them. But I will say that this is the highest all damage I have seen. I don't think any character compares to 1,800% attack on an alt. So being able to spam this, especially when I know it says 2 magic consumption, but it's actually 1, because if you land all 4 of these, it decreases your ultimate magic gains consumption by 50%, thus knocking this down to 1 magic consumption. So you're basically, it drains your orbs, per hit. First hit, the third hit, the second hit, the third hit, and then obviously the Devastator. Yeah, they say it can consume your all orbs, but the Devastator does not. So that's why you run a team that comes with magic, Johnny efficiency, the regen set, or you could run what other people run, where they run the 3-piece here, and then they run a 2-piece regen on another character or something. You can do something like that if you really want that much magic charge. But honestly, having the 3-piece hasn't worked for me. I always get my entire all out. I get the full use of it. You just gotta use your characters correctly, and then you'll be able to get it. So she has the highest all damage in the game. And being able to have this on a burst, for bot, isn't being pretty insane. So having teams Deri, DPS, Bond, Daisy, Liz, or Deri, Bond, Coulter, Liz, or maybe even Deri, Nanny, Bond, Liz, it's still, these are still ideal conceptions of things that you could come up with. Maybe something that could build up burst. Maybe add a burst character instead. Maybe you could go Deri, Bond, Merlin, Liz. But depending if Bond can even burst. So yes. So if you haven't pulled for Deri and you've been wanting to skip Deri because you think that she's not good because obviously there's no content for her in the game, or you you feel that she's bad from players that don't understand the game at all. If you think that she's bad, she's not. She has the highest all damage in the game. She gives you a lot of value to her abilities. And her shutdown, everything, all this stuff right here is pretty good. So in my opinion, if you plan on pulling for Bond and you want to get really good quiz in the raid and in the next raid, that will probably be dark, I've been predicting. You want Deri, Bond, and Meliodas. You could run Deri on her axe with Meliodas, Bond, and Deri, or you could run Deri on DPS with Bond, Daisy, Liz, right? So you can have various teams that can actually hit really hard in the next raid. And then that way you can get better times. You can be able to solo clear it if the pledges are doable solo. Having Deri is really useful, and I feel this here might be a character that people want to look back at, similar to Daisy. I've seen people oh, I wish I pulled for Daisy. When is she rerunning? She really reran, and she might end up rerunning, but it probably won't be for a very long time. And a lot of players are oh, I wish I pulled for Daisy, and it's because Daisy can fit across multiple different kinds of teams, even though she's a lightning buffer. She doesn't only buff lightning, which is really good because you fit across many good compositions, and that's why players really want to pull Daisy, and that's why they regret not pulling Daisy, is because back then when Merlin and her rerun came out, it was more should you pull for Merlin, should you pull for Daisy? Daisy's skippable because Merlin's really good. Instead of being hey, they're both really good, just get both of them. I try to get both of them. I know that there's some free-to-play players, but it is a gacha game at the end of the day. You don't have to start pulling. it's a part of the game. It's a part of the game. I understand that you want to free to play as much as possible, but it comes with the price. Okay, the game the game always comes with the price. No game is like if you plan on getting the best times, or like just you not having the best times by having good times, or being able to clear certain content, or being able to like do it efficiently. It comes with a price. You can't just free to play everything and just realistically become the best, or like had the highest or had the highest like speed on like a raid or something, without at least investing into your characters, or at least like get into certain potential, or at least pulling certain characters. Like if you're skipping certain characters, that automatically gives like a person that already pulled that character an advantage over you in certain content of the game. So always, honestly, always pull for characters. Like always try to at least get one copy of the character. If you are free to play, at least try to get one copy. It's always gonna come with a price. If you're gonna be trying to like do things efficiently, get the best clears and stuff like that. So for Bond, I have a couple predictions. We're gonna go back to Bond. I have a couple predictions for Bond. I think Bond physical will actually be really good. I feel like he is in a fit in on like I feel like he might be like a Daisy, where you could fit in on many different kinds of compositions. You could build them alongside other characters that will like even like various teams. Like you could build them with lightning team, you could build them with like fire team, you could build them like in various setups, so where he can actually thrive. And that is my theory. I think Bond will thrive along multiple teams. I think he might push Esper even further down the list of my top DPSs, because I generally think that he might be able to fit in on every like and on every concept of a team. So like fire, lightning, wind, like the physical will be able to do it, and they'll be able to do it really good. So I feel like the physical aspect is going to be really great, especially if they're going to get that Gladness weapon. They have to do something with it that's going to make it stand out compared to other characters. As for its Earth build, that adds on more fuel to my theory, which is Darkness and Earth raid for Frozen Mines raid. That is like that is our guess, because hitting a spider became a raid, why not Frozen? And he's dark and Earth, so it's highly probable that they might add in a Darkness Earth. So that way you could use Bond as an Earth DPS to try to beat it, or you could also use him as a burst or support for Meliodas there. Another thing about Bond and Belly, if you are free to play and you are planning, you are 100% certain that you will skip theory, I won't stop you. Moving past theory, if you do run Bond and Melly, it doesn't mean for certain that you will be able to do that content as fast as you do other content in the game. What I mean by this is a lot of players get like this thought in their head that like, all right, Melly melts a lot of bosses in the game. Currently, if it is Dark and Earth, then Melly should be able to melt it. And like I understand that like sentiment, but the issue with that is that the raid boss is going to be a lot more scaled up compared to the spider raid. It won't be that much crazier, but it will be a little bit harder than the spider raid. Every single raid is going to get harder and harder. Thus, that like your damage that you do currently, even if it's like let's say like a low potential melee, like a potential 7, potential 6, potential 5, potential 4 melee, like you will not be doing that much damage on Meliodas, even with bot. So having characters that can support him, like buff him, like genre, your whole goal to make him work is to maximize it. If you're not higher than 7, to even make him work against these type of raids, because like obviously he's gonna get scaled higher and higher. So that's all I was saying on the belly and berry part. And yeah, I think I think Bond is gonna be a must pull. I think the care about the Bond versus what I heard is gonna be an OC. Might be a must pull. It depends on like how well they could, support a team, how well they could how well they could like not even support a team, how well they could even lead a team, like as a massacre. It just depends on what the next character is gonna be. But I think every character from there is gonna be must pull, and that includes Bond. I think Bond is gonna be really good, and there actually is one thing I would like to touch upon before we end this video. If I could just pull up like the random character. We have this appearance that I want to make known to everybody. I don't know if I have it anymore. I don't think I have it. Okay, I don't think I have it right now. Let me pull it up. Where is it? Is it in over here? Right here gives you landing a funding attack increases the burst gauge of enemies in range by 150 and inflicts darkness damage equal to 140% of attack. This right here is foreshadowing Bond even further. This right here is gonna help Bond a lot. This right here is gonna inflict darkness damage equal to 140% of attack. This is basically like a mini ultimate. Like, not too crazy, but it's like a pretty good. It's like an extra ability just by hitting this. And I think like plunging with Bond is going to be something that is going to be, well needed. So, prepare this. Like at least get one of these for him. At least try to get a level 3. The higher you get it, the better. I think that this is going to be amazing. And for his Earth setup, I might run one of these new weapons for his Earth setup. So if you take a look here, using the attack skill increases the crit chance by 6% for 7 seconds and increases attack by the amount of crit chance exceeds 50%. And if you combo this with full greedy, you're getting like the full greedy, bonus. Plus, you're also going to get like attack which could exceed 50%. So you're going to be, we're probably beginning at 16% attack, right? At level 1. So at max level, you're probably getting a lot more attack. So stacking out with like full greedy might be the play for Bond. That's what I might try out for his Earth setup. So let me know what you guys think. Am I completely wrong? Do you guys think full of it? Do you guys think that Barry being a must pull is like I'm just being full of it and I'm just spreading propaganda that Barry's a must pull just because I'm trying to get people to pay the game or whatever. Tell me your thoughts is. Your thoughts are. I think Barry's a must pull and will always be a must pull just because she has the highest all damage in the game. Not capitalizing on that is just, I don't know, it's just not the wise. Thank you guys for watching and if you guys enjoyed the video. I am making this pretty quickly because I do work tomorrow and it's been a really exhausting week. So thank you guys for watching and see ya.